So in the movie The Matrix, when they went to go see the Oracle said to Neo, she said, now whenever you see vampires and UFOs and werewolves and things like that, she said, that's someone in the Matrix doing something that they're not supposed to do. So now let's talk about that. Hey, yo, peace, peace. This is your man, L Judge. Come right back at you with some of that real talk real fast. Now, if you can, make sure you hit like, leave a comment, hit repost. It helps your boy out. It truly does. Now, when she said that's someone in the Matrix doing something that they're not supposed to do, what she was talking about is that was someone who has created a program that wasn't originally designed to exist, but someone decided to do something that they weren't supposed to do and bring it into existence. Now, how can one do this? Let's use the character known as Jesus for an example. Now, the character known as Jesus, it exists right now and it has power. Why does it have power? The reason is because of the energy instilled in it that comes through a belief system that is created. Someone created this entity called Jesus. They created this image, and this image was created off of a many different type of beings who actually walked this earth. And then they gave the story on to us, and we began to believe it, and then we gave it power. That's how everything works. We give it the power once we believe in it. I talked last night about how things exist when you see it, but sometimes things still exist in the actual world, even if you don't see it. And I mentioned the diamond. And then one of the viewers, they made a comment. He said, yes, and a diamond is nothing more than a shiny rock that someone made to believe is valuable. And that is exactly right. I remember watching the documentary of the De Beers family. And yes, it's just a shiny rock. And they polish it, they shape it, and they tell you that it's worth something, but it's really not worth much at all. It's only worth the labor that was placed within it. You see, people, man, have the ability to create your situation and to create your surrounding. And when you accept what people create for you, you become part of their creation. That's the only reason why you cannot fly. When you go into your dream state at night and you can fly, the reason why you can fly is because you have stepped outside of the boundaries and the limitations of this so-called physical creation. You are told no here, but there in your own world, you can do as you choose, as long as you have control over the mind at that time. Now, if you have no control over the mind, that could be very troublesome. Especially if you don't wake up. If you fall to the unalive world when you sleep and you're stuck in a nightmare, you're still going to be continued stuck in that nightmare. So treating yourself kindly and being responsible with yourself, that's very important. And again, I say, if you allow someone to create your existence, they become part of your creation, or you become part of their creation. Now, this makes you think twice. Now, remember what it says in the Bible. They said, let us create man in our image, the way how we imagine man should be created. It doesn't necessarily mean that they created something that looked exactly like them, because those beings had already exist. But once they obtained the power, they were able to manipulate the minds of man and create the man the way how they choose for man to exist. Right now, we're going through that exact same thing. This is why they're trying to get rid of the history of everything. And this is why they're trying to force you to go by a narrative. Even things at this moment that you know things that are an absolute lie, you know for a fact. But they're saying, you know what? You're going to follow this narrative no matter what. And this is the same thing that happened the last time. That the last time, during the last so-called, what you would call reset, and they were conquering and dominating this land here, the people who survived, they remember how the world used to be. And they would tell them, no, that's not how the world is. And if you don't accept this new way of thinking, we're going to put you in this doggone institution where we're going to reprogram you and reset your mind. We will give you shock therapy. We will torture you. We will torture you with water. Yeah. Until you break, and then you accept our way of thinking. Man, that's what you're dealing with on television right now. They're even going as far as to so-called showing images of people being unalived on television so that could spark fear into certain people and enforce their way of thinking. People are just making up all kinds of lies and changing the rules right before our minds, right before our eyes, sorry. And they're telling you that you are crazy for not seeing it the way how they see it. The small majority or the small-minded people are coming together and trying to say, look, either you see the world the way that we are supposed to see it, or we're going to war. Let's go to war. Don't give up. Because you're right at that point to where when Neil got done saying what he had to say on the telephone and he hung that phone up and he stepped outside of the booth and he flew away, you're right there at that point. And they know you are at that point. Man, there's a video. There's this guy. I saw this guy run and jump over 7 cars. And in order for him to make it over the last few cars, he literally did like this here. Like he was walking in the air and made it over those last few cars. You're becoming supernatural. And everyone's not going to become that. But once one person or 2 people or 3 people become supernatural and do supernatural things within your sight, the rest of the soul member families, they're going to become supernatural as well. And we will create this heaven here on this place that we call earth. Or should I say within this realm. But the diabolical ones, they can't exist in that. Because you know within your mind and within your imagination of a perfect realm, it would be perfect without them. Now, some people say, man, there's no such thing as perfect. Yes, there is. Sometimes you can make a perfect and clear mistake. So yes, there is perfect. And you can create perfect. Don't let anyone take that away from you. But anyway, this is your man, L. Judge. You know how I say peace and blessings.
Looks like you forgot, once again, how powerful you are.